right, so I am here with Niles from Graco, and he is the head engineer. Is that the right title?
I don't know, that's pretty official.
That is, for the Integrated PowerStation. So this is a brand new product from Graco, and we're going to just talk about it, ask some questions, see what some of the features and benefits are, how easy Graco made it is to install, from what I understand,
Absolutely.
at least from what I've heard from you.
Yes.
So, yeah, so let's talk about first the Tier 4 Kohler diesel engine and the serviceability of it and kind of what that looks like.
Absolutely. So we have a 3-cylinder Kohler diesel engine. It's got a turbocharger and an aftercooler, and that actually allows us to have the same fuel burn rate as the old Tier 3 engine, but a lot more power. So with that extra power, we actually did a PTO-driven compressor. So the same hydrobane compressor that you're used to seeing on the integrated reactor is now on the integrated power station. And that compressor can be in 20 or 35 CFM. So that really gives you the versatility to get it all in one package. With this layout, all the service for the compressor and the engine are on this side. So you have a compressor oil fill, an engine oil fill, coolant fill for the engine, oil filter, fuel filter. It's all on this side. So if you configure your rig to be able to get at this side, all your service points are right here. Working around the engine, we have a standard off-the-shelf square D panel, just like we all have in our homes. It's got standard breakers, so if a breaker goes on you, you can go down to the local hardware store, boom, you're back in business. This is the brains of it. This is what we actually use to control the engine. Simple start stop, a couple menus to show you your line pressures and temperatures of coolant. Very straightforward, just like the old integrated reactor.
This is a little bit new, is that right?
It's a little new, similar to the old layout, but you have your compressor on and off, so the PTO is always spinning, but you can engage or disengage that clutch to turn your air in. Low oil sensor, over temp sensor. So we don't have a sight glass, it's all sensors now. And every time you turn your system on and off, when you turn it on, these lights should illuminate to let you know that the sensor is up in operation. Obviously, if they stay illuminated, you might want to check your oil or the temperature. This is your on-off for your entire system. So you can actually supply air to the rest of this, and you have designated regulators for your A side, B side pumps, transfer pumps, and agitator if applicable, as well as your gun. Moving around the system, we have our designated chucks, air chucks. So a standard airline plugs up, run it up to your ceiling, over to the component, you're ready to go. Air dryer, sized dependent on your compressor. 20 or 35 CFM again.
Which compressor's on this unit?
This is the 35 CFM. We actually don't have this. You can actually see the sensor here, which is looking at for the low oil. There is a guard that goes over that, so if guys are in and out of the trailer with a ladder or equipment, you won't shear that off. But
so with the bigger compressor, which is belt driven, right? No longer electric.
Right.
Which I like a lot. But you can also run an agitator. You have enough air capacity remaining. You could run a high pressure breathing air system as well. So if you need that extra capacity, the new unit has that, whereas the old one didn't.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
And then it's the same heat transfer technology that we used on the integrated reactor, just with a little better, more user-friendly layout. We used to have a reactor basically right in this vicinity, blocking us from getting to that. So now we've also gone a little vertically oriented. We have the same AB and bypass valves. Drain port, you can hook a 5-gallon pail onto this drip tray, so all your mess is contained. It's a nice little features that we took the time to
The old one was a little more difficult to access some of these, if I remember right.
Down behind the proportioner.
Yeah, and then having everything on the same skid for a guy that was in a mobile rig, you want to keep the engine components possibly separate and ventilated separately, which is another reason they give you the option to divorce the proportioner or connect it on a skid, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right. There are still kits that you can, you'll notice there's no proportioner and there's no fuel tank on this skid right now. Now, on this side, you can add the proportioner skid and take a proportioner off the shelf. If you own an R2, E30, EXP2, H30, HXP2, so electric or hydraulic, you could bolt it right here. We have a few weld nuts to secure the top. Bottom would bolt right into the pallet. It's like all in one if you need that mobility.
So if you want to keep them divorced and say you want the proportioner up in some conditioned space, leave the engine in the back, what is that feature on this one? There's a remote kit.
Yes, so there's a remote heat exchange relocation kit where you unbolt this bracket and everything attached to it. You break this coolant line, you break this swivel fitting down here, you pick this up and you move it to your conditioned space. So you get all the hardware to do so mounted on the wall and two 10-foot coolant lengths so that you can run your coolant lines along the wall. And that allows you to get your A and B chemical all on the conditioned space.
Outstanding. I think you covered everything.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.